Wow!
Slow memory of people who walked, built, cooked, gathered, and listened to the world before the world became so noisy. History, for a long time, was told from the top down. Kings, generals, conquerors. Maps redrawn. Empires made and unmade. Battles with dates. Treaties with clauses. Crowns and swords. But that's not the only way time passed. People are hungry now for something else. A history that lives lower to the ground. Closer to the soil. Not the story of who ruled, but how people lived. What they ate. Where they slept. How they raised children. How they waited out the rain. How they gathered roots when no fruit would grow. How they healed. How they carried grief, and how they passed joy along in stories around the fire. Let's begin where history is often quietest. With the indigenous peoples whose voices were left out of the official records. Not because they didn't have stories, but because they didn't write them down in books or carve them in stone for kings. They stored them in the rhythm of seasons. In the smell of wild honey. In the position of stars. In the ways you speak to elders, or don't speak at all. The Hadzabe of East Africa, for example, have lived much the same way for thousands of years. Their days begin when the birds begin, and they don't count time in hours. They hunt not with guns, but with bows made from the branches they cut, shaped, and strung by hand. They listen more than they talk. They eat together. They laugh, too, at things so small they wouldn't be noticed in a city. A missed arrow. A stubborn tree. A child mimicking a baboon's call. They have no chief. No calendar. No currency. And yet, they have survived. Not by conquering, but by adapting. Watching. Waiting. Remembering. And it's not just Africa. In the highlands of Andean South America, women wove cloth with patterns that told stories. In Southeast Asia, rice paddies reflected the sky, and with every harvest, traditions passed through fingers and feet more than words. In Australia, Aboriginal songlines stitched together the land like invisible maps, guiding people across space through melody, rhythm, and memory. So often we hear about wars and inventions. But what about water jars? Cooking stones? Midwives? What about the everyday? There's a quiet longing, now, in our restless modern world, for those histories. The ones that show not how power was won, but how life was sustained. How women moved in the shadows of palaces. How communities thrived without money or roads or machines. These aren't the loud stories. They won't keep you up. In fact, they do the opposite. They slow your thoughts. They invite your breath to match a slower rhythm. The rhythm of gathering wood at dusk, or chewing tubers under a tree while someone tells a story.
Hadzabe music, the ancient soundtrack of survival, spirit, and community. The Hadzabe people of northern Tanzania are one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer tribes in the world. Living near Lake Eyasi, they maintain a way of life that has remained largely unchanged for thousands of years. Central to their cultural identity and community life is music, a powerful, expressive tradition that brings the tribe together and connects them with nature, their ancestors, and each other. The role of music in Hadzabe life. For the Hadzabe, music is not a separate art form, it's woven into daily life. Unlike modern societies where music may be confined to concerts, recordings, or entertainment venues, Hadzabe music is functional, spiritual, and communal. It is not performed in the conventional sense, it is experienced and lived, often spontaneously. Music is used for celebration, after a successful hunt or community gathering. Storytelling. Passing down tribal stories, myths, and history through song. Rituals and ceremonies, including rites of passage, healing dances, initiation, and weddings. Bonding and play, around the campfire in the evening, singing, clapping, and dancing. Spiritual connection, songs are often directed toward spirits of the forest, ancestors, or used in rainmaking rituals. Instruments, rhythm from the earth. Most Hadzabe music is vocal and percussive, made using the body and natural instruments. Instruments are few but deeply symbolic and effective. Drums, often crafted from hollowed logs and animal skins. Used for rhythm in group dances and ceremonies. Gourds and shakers, filled with sounds and head pebbles to create a rare language tradition speaking head sparkles. The Hadzabe, or Hadza, people of Tanzania speak a unique and ancient language that includes clicking consonants, making it one of the most distinct and rare forms of spoken communication in the world. These clicking sounds are not just stylistic, they are actual phonemes, meaning they function like regular letters or syllables in their language. The Hadza language includes a range of click sounds, such as dental clicks, like tisk-tisk. Lateral clicks, similar to the sound you make to urge a horse forward. Alveolar clicks, sharp tongue pops made at the roof of the mouth. These clicks often appear within names, everyday speech, storytelling, and even during hunting, where communication must be silent yet clear. It's an intricate system that non-speakers find very hard to imitate, let alone understand. Speech balloon example. A Hadzabe person's name might contain a click sound that isn't written in English. It's a sound, not a letter. For example, Zany or Oma, note, the symbols like or represent different types of clicks. Globe showing Europe-Africa linguistic significance. The Hadza language is considered a linguistic isolate, meaning it's not closely related to any other known language family. It is spoken by fewer than 1,500 people, making it endangered but incredibly important in the study of human language origins. The use of clicks places the Hadza language among a very small group in Africa, including Khoisan languages found mostly in southern Africa. Brain cultural insight. To the Hadza, these names and sounds are not just labels, they carry identity, ancestral meaning, and sometimes environmental or spiritual connections. Learning to pronounce them properly is a sign of deep respect for their culture. White heavy checkmark summary. Hadzabe names with clicking sounds are a powerful reminder of human diversity. They reflect thousands of years of oral tradition, survival, and a way of living that remains deeply connected to nature and identity. Clicking sounds in Hadzabe names, a rare language tradition. Deep in the savannas and woodlands around Lake Eyasi in northern Tanzania, the Hadzabe, or Hadza, tribe lives as one of the last true hunter-gatherer societies on Earth. Their way of life has remained largely unchanged for thousands of years, and at the heart of their culture is a unique and ancient language, marked by something extraordinary, clicking sounds. These clicks aren't casual noises or expressions. They are real, meaningful components of the Hadza language, used not just in speech but within names themselves, making Hadzabe personal names some of the most unique and difficult to pronounce in the world for outsiders. Speaking head. What are clicking sounds? In phonetics, clicks are non-pulmonic consonants. That means they're not made by pushing air out of the lungs like most sounds, but by creating a vacuum in the mouth and releasing it. You may recognize some of them from casual sounds you make in daily life. Dental click, similar to tisk tisk, disapproval sound. Lateral click, like urging a horse to move, tisk tsk, but more side tongue. Alveolar click. A sharp pop made with the tongue against the roof of the mouth. Palatal click, a more complex, tongue-curling sound. These clicks are fully integrated into words and names, not added for emphasis or rhythm. That means a name like Ghana or Zoni includes click consonants as essential building blocks, just as English names have vowels and consonants. A linguistic mystery. The Hadza language is one of the most enigmatic and isolated on Earth. It's classified as a language isolate, which means it has no confirmed relation to any other language family. Though it shares the use of click sounds with Khoisan languages, mainly found in southern Africa, linguistic studies have shown that Hadza developed its click-based system independently. This has fascinated researchers and anthropologists for decades. The fact that the Hadzabe language has survived millennia without writing, and that it's only spoken by around 1,200 to 1,500 people, makes it a living linguistic fossil, a window into early human speech patterns. Names with clicks, identity through sound. In Hadza culture, names are deeply tied to identity, environment, and ancestry. Many Hadzabe names are impossible to write accurately in the Roman alphabet because of these clicks, which means their true pronunciation can only be learned by hearing and mimicking it from native speakers. For example, a man's name might be Kuda, with an alveolar click at the beginning. A woman's name might be Noma, starting with a lateral click. These are not nicknames or special terms, they are formal, everyday names used in introductions, storytelling, and ceremonies. To a Hadza person, these sounds are second nature, but for outsiders, they require careful listening. Listen closely to their incredible click-based language. Reflects their deep cultural heritage. Watch as they gather around the fire to prepare a freshly hunted meal, cooking with nothing but natural tools and age-old techniques. Meat on bone fire the result? A flavorful, nourishing feast straight from the wild. This video is not just about food, it's about survival, community, language, and connection to the land. Whether you're passionate about indigenous cultures, fascinated by bushcraft, or just curious about life off the grid, this is a powerful look at real, raw human life, far from modern convenience. Travel deep into the heart of East Africa and spend a day with the Hadza Tribe, one of the last true hunter-gatherer societies still living as humans did for thousands of years. In this documentary-style video, you'll witness the Hadza's extraordinary connection to nature, from tracking and hunting wild animals with handmade bows and poisoned arrows to preparing delicious bush meals using natural ingredients gathered from the land. Direct hit hunting techniques. The Hadza hunt using traditional methods, no guns, no modern tools, just handcrafted bows, keen instincts, and silent teamwork. Whether they're chasing baboons, birds, or small antelope, every step in the hunt is guided by ancestral knowledge and deep respect for nature. You'll see how every part of the animal is used, wasting nothing. Click language communication. The Hadza language is one of the world's rare click languages, filled with pops, clicks, and tones that are as musical as they are complex. It's not just communication. It's a cultural identity that has survived for millennia, even as modern influences close in. Wild cooking and family meals. After the hunt, the tribe gathers around a fire to cook their catch. Meals are shared communally, seasoned only by fire and experience. Watch as they prepare baboon meat, roast tubers, and even harvest wild honey straight from the trees. Every dish tells a story of survival, resourcefulness, and unity. A life in harmony with nature. The Hadza live with what nature
Ichame. Teko. Uchame ko.
Chimanako.
Manako.
Zanika okoteko.
The Tupi tribe men
Babo.
cattle keepers and protectors of
Ichame.
If the women of the Indigenous tribe are the heart of the household,
Seme. Teko seme.
but also a symbol of defend them from predators,
Apeba.
navigate the
Seme wela bawa.